you're not sexy, you're not an Instagram baddie, and you damn sure aren't doing yourself any favors when you try to cosplay as someone who's naturally seductress or sexy. When you do that whole, yeah, you're cute.
I like feminine women, Black.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like just bad bitches. Like, you gotta be bad and feminine.
Right.
I just don't like no bitch just wake up and just look. I like a bitch fold clothes, run my water, cook, iron my clothes. You do that, you got me.
The reason we like cutie patooties over baddies is because baddies just doing things for male validation. Everything they do is for male validation. They post photos for male validation. They go to the club and dress like, you know, certain types of ways for male validation.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaya and welcome back to another episode of Amaya's Unsolicited Opinions. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about another topic that I just feel like sits closely to my heart. We're going to be talking about this conversation surrounding the baddies versus cutie patooties and the problem with beauty labels in general. In today's video, I'm going to split it up into cutie tootie versus baddie debate and how that conversation started happening on TikTok. Then I'm going to be talking about the problem with beauty labels and how I've started to notice it on the internet over the past couple of years and why I think that is. And then we're going to wrap the video up by talking about the problem with these things and the problem with men entering the chat specifically. So let's get right into the video.
Okay, so this cutie patootie conversation is, I just love it, okay? Because I have for years tried to explain this cutie patootie cute concept to my family members, and to the point that it's become a running joke in the household. Most common compliment that I get is cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. And I won't say that it's growing on me, but I will say I'm learning to accept it because I can't escape it. It doesn't matter what I put on. It doesn't matter how much makeup I put on. It's giving cute. It's not giving sexy. It's giving cute. And I think I used to internally be offended because I felt like cute is for puppies. Cute is for babies and small children.
So the girl started a conversation about being a cutie versus a baddie and accepting that they're a cutie, not a baddie. And for the fellas, I want to make sure that y'all understand the difference so y'all know what y'all getting into between picking a cutie versus picking a baddie. And I don't want to just talk about the basic things like looks. Like, everybody can define the looks aspect, right? But there's a certain aspect of aura that a baddie versus a cutie carry, right? A cutie is who you wake up to in the morning, man. Like, you wake up to a cutie ready to start your day because she's the light of your world. You just know that the fact that she's in your life is a blessing, right? But a baddie, a baddie is who you go to bed thinking about. A baddie is the one who you start thinking about, damn, I gotta make it rich. I gotta make a meal. Because you know you gotta upkeep this baddie. A cutie is someone you like, I wanna make a home with her. I wanna build a home for her. I wanna be able to do everything I can for her. A baddie, you wanna serve a baddie. You wanna be able to be the man that when she asks and she has a need, you take care of those needs. They're both the same, but both very different in the same way.
So I personally was scrolling on social media and I started to see this debate online concerning if you're a baddie type of pretty or a beautiful type of pretty going on within girls and girls accepting that they're a cutie patootie. Personally, I don't know. I think I'm in the middle. As far as I know online, baddies have like I would say like the pantherist type of look. Cutie patooties are more of a bunny. And the only reason why I'm describing women as animals is because online it has been normalized for women to split each other up into bunny pretty, fox pretty, dog pretty, cat pretty.
How to know if you're a deer, bunny, fox, or cat pretty? For deer pretty, think of big almond-shaped eyes, small nose, natural fuller eyebrows, soft jawline, soft facial features, and longer hair.
So you know how there's different types of pretty. There's the doe pretty, there's the bunny pretty, there's the siren pretty, the fox pretty. Anyways, I asked my fiance the other day, what kind of pretty am I? Okay. And he says, oh, you're the deer, you're the doe pretty. You know, you are the embodiment of deer pretty. So I'm thinking, oh, that's so sweet. Like, that's a nice compliment. Like, I'll take it, right? Well, he did not stop at that. He then proceeded to tell me, yeah, you remind me just like a deer. You know, like when you're driving and a deer jumps in front of you and they're a huge inconvenience and then you end up running over the deer and just creating a big old mess. And yeah, you're kind of like the deer. And then he starts to talk about the deer's eyes, right? You have doe eyes, you know, where they like disassociate and they just space out. That's what your eyes remind me of. He literally told me that. Like, I thought he was about to, he had the opportunity to say like the sweetest thing possible, and he humbled me to my core.
Instead of trying to force yourself into this sexy and seductive type of aesthetic of a baddie, like wearing baddie outfits or doing baddie makeup, well, they wear light colors and makeup for their face shape and don't necessarily follow the trend of just trying to be a baddie because that's what society says is hot. I thought this trend was lighthearted. I thought it was cute in the beginning. With that being said, the conversation started to get messy because unfortunately, men hopped in the chat and started jumping in the conversation.
The reason the Dingy Demons have interjected themselves in the conversation of the baddie versus the patootie is because y'all made it about looks, and it is not looks alone. Because see, even your baddest can be your most patootiest, and even your most patootiest can be the baddest in the room. Case in point. You see, it's about energy. It's about aura. And Sister Halle Brene Berry really served us that in Catwoman. So much so that we spent the rest of the year trying to figure out how to make our backbone slip in leather pants just like she did. There were so many days when my mama would go to work that I would walk across the top of her couch pretending that I was scaling the buildings of New York City. Because this is baddie aura. However, in the very same movie, she was the patootiest of them all. Very soft-spoken, very meek, very mild-mannered. It's aura, it's energy. Like, let's really get into it. Look at Robin Givens and Boomerang. She exuded baddie energy, not just because she was pretty, but she had this sharpness and power and control about herself that commanded any room she was in.
This whole baddie versus cutie conversation, I knew that once men joined in on this little conversation, it's gonna turn to about their preferences. Cause right now we seeing it turn right now. Cause that man really came out here. He came out here and said some bullshit. He basically just said the Madonna and the whore complex. Basically, the Madonna, the cuties, and the whores, the baddies. He basically said that, oh, the cute girls are the ones that you wife, while the baddies are the mistresses, and the girls are just eating it up. No, ma'am. That is not cute. That he's insulting both of y'all. Like, come the fuck on. Why is y'all eating it up? It shows how a lot of y'all are truly male-centered, and I haven't learned to decenter men yet. Because, baby, no.
A lot of these men who are starting to make TikTok videos talking about the baddies versus the cutie patooties were saying that cutie patooties were wifey material and nobody wants to be with a baddie and baddies are tramps and stuff like that. And I started to look at the videos like, well, the baddie versus cutie patootie conversation girls were having was about face shape, facial features, and to naturally be a baddie, I guess, in this conversation means that you naturally have to have features and aesthetics to fit this aesthetic. The cutie patootie is girls with, I guess, rounder faces, and you just know what a cutie patootie is. Like, I personally feel like I'm a cutie patootie. That's what my boyfriend calls me. But I could also see my facial features bridging on whatever. Like, that's just so stupid. I'm sorry. It's so stupid because who cares?
I don't care. I don't care. Okay. I really don't give a fuck.
Somebody started to call themselves a baddie after this era from 2018 to 2020 when the Instagram baddie aesthetic was the aesthetic to have. Everybody wanted to be a baddie. I wanted to be a baddie myself at that age, even though I believe I was like 16, 15, 14. So I was still a child, didn't even develop into my features, still not. But, you know, it was a trend for the girls to want to give baddie, want to wear their Fashion Nova sets, want to do their makeup a certain way. And that's just how it is. In society, we have makeup trends, we have clothing trends, we have fashion trends. This is what the girls were doing. Now it's 2025. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be honest. As a fashion major, it seems like people are starting to really push back. Because I would say maybe a year or two later, it was Coquette and Light and House of CB and all these other, and Princess Polly started to release like more modest Republican type of clothing. But now I've seen on the internet, as far as I guess my side of the internet, people are really starting to get more in touch with who they are, how they want to wear, how they want to look, and what matches and suits their features. Which is why I appreciate this conversation, because it's like, there's no point of forcing yourself to put on baddie makeup and to put on baddie clothes if that does not look good on you or if it doesn't suit your facial features. The problem with this conversation as far as aesthetics is I genuinely believe that nobody needs to have one aesthetic. I don't even think an aesthetic is an aesthetic, because Every outfit you wear, every look you do, waking up with your hair, you're not going to give aesthetic. That's just what the people on Instagram give. And it's curated. The word aesthetic is curated. It's not real. Nothing is aesthetic about life. Life is crazy. There's ups and downs. It throws you around. You cry. You know, you get angry. You get sad. You get mad. There's nothing aesthetic about that. You wake up, your breath stank. You wake up, you look ugly. So online, for us to be constantly having these conversations about how do you look, and this is what you look, and this is what you need to follow, and this is what you need to wear, it's just like, it's so tiring. It's just so tiring to hear, because why are we constantly policing what women need to be looking like? Why is there constantly being a term reinvented? Why are there girls online asking the internet what it is that they're supposed to be wearing? Do you not have self-autonomy to go to the store and figure out what it is you want to wear? I just don't understand that. And to conclude this video, I just feel like there's nothing inherently wrong with these beauty labels, or being a deer pretty, or a cat pretty, or a dog pretty, or a bat pretty. It's nothing wrong with saying you are, especially because a lot of these videos on TikTok are lighthearted and girly in nature. But when the conversation leads to guys getting online having these conversations saying, well, if you're a baddie, you're not wifey material, and you're in the comment section talking about, oh my God, I knew it was this all along. I'm a cutie patootie. I'm just so happy that this is becoming a trend, because I'm so tired of those girls that are baddies. Like, I don't like to speak in terms of a box, but babe, if a girl is a baddie, a girl's a baddie. And that doesn't mean that she's a whore or anything like that. So you and that little dopamine and feeling jerked off because a guy is giving a compliment to you and putting down another woman is weird. I'm sorry. In any term, a guy tried to compliment me and then in turn slapping another woman in my face, it's never going to sit right with me, and I will never accept a compliment like that. But that's just me. But that was it for this video. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, follow my other channel, and if you did not like the video, do get out. But yeah, that was it for this video. Bye. Have a beautiful day.